right, so today we're going to talk about constructs. So when we're talking about constructs, there are a few things you want to have on hand. So the first thing is a compass. So this is a compass here. It's used to create circles or arcs, and we have some art that we're going to do with these, but there's the compass. And then a protractor. Protractor allows you to have those angles. It also provides a straight edge. You might need a little bit longer, so you might need a ruler to have a little bit longer straight edge. I'm going to kind of create my own compass by using a string. Now, the first thing we're going to do is on the slides in the presentation, there is a little artwork on the first slide. We're going to kind of, for time's sake, skip over that and go right into creating congruent segments. So the first thing is we want to construct a segment congruent to a given segment. Okay? So we're usually given a segment. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that up here. So here's my segment AB. Not sure if you can see it on the diagram up here, but we're going to create one over here. Now, we're going to construct CD so that CD is congruent to AB. Okay? So the first thing is draw a ray with endpoint C. So I'm going to take here's my C, and I'm going to draw a ray. Now this is where it's nice if your segment isn't too long to overcome, to be extra long. So there's my ray. Remember that a ray extends infinitely in one direction. I made it long enough to kind of come in there. Now, so there's my ray. I don't know if you can see that. There's C. It's a nice long one. So step 2 is you're going to open your compass to the length of AB. So when I come down here, I'm going to open my compass up so that it's this long here. So you're going to take this, open it up to that length. Okay? So I'm going to take that, open it up to that length. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same compass setting and then put the point on C and draw an arc. Okay? So where that arc intersects, I'm going to put a dot there, and this is going to be D, and now these are going to be congruent segments. Okay? All right, so we're going to construct congruent angles now. All right, so we're going to be given an angle. So here is angle A. All right, and we're going to construct angle S. So the first thing we're going to do is draw a ray. Right, I better make sure I have this nice straight. I'm going to put my endpoint there, S. So I'm going to draw a ray with endpoint S. Okay. With the compass point on vertex A, draw an arc that intersects the sides of angle A. Okay? So what I'm going to do is it doesn't matter where your settings are on your compass. The key is to make sure that you have it set so that way you can connect arcs on both edges here. All right, so there's the arcs. Keep this the same. So I'm going to mark that as C and B and C. All right. So you should have this on your diagram. With the same compass setting, okay, we're going to take this compass setting now, and we're going to go to our ray, and we're going to create an arc such that it's going to intersect the ray around, and it's probably going to be, depending on how big your angle is, the arc's got to be bigger than this angle. All right. So this segment right here, I'm going to label as R. All right. So So now you should have your main angle has an arc across it, B and C. You're going to take that same measurement from S and you're going to create an arc. Where it intersects the ray, you're going to label that as R. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your compass setting and you're going to put the point on B and extend it out to where it marks C. Okay, so that's going to be your compass setting. All right. So if I have my compass here, I'm going to take my compass, put point on B, mark it on C, keep that same compass setting. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that compass setting and I'm going to mark it from R on that arc. Where it intersects here, I'm going to label that as T. Okay, so I took this setting here, came down here, put an arc. Now I'm going to construct a ray from S to T. And now these angles are congruent. So now we've created congruent angles. Okay. So we got some vocabulary. Perpendicular lines are two lines that intersect to form a right angle. The symbol, this means perpendicular, is perpendicular to. So perpendicular means they're going to intersect to form right angles. Perpendicular bisector of a segment is a line, segment, or ray that is perpendicular to a segment at its midpoint. So it's going to break that segment into congruent pieces. So we're going to construct a perpendicular bisector. So we are going to be given that we have a line AB. So here's my line segment AB. Okay? So we're going to construct XY in such a way that XY is going to be the perpendicular bisector to AB. All right. So the first thing we need to do is put the compass point on A. Okay, so we're going to put the compass point on A. We're going to open our compass in such a way that it is more than halfway of AB. Doesn't matter how much more, it just has to be more. Okay, you're going to create an arc from A. Now you're going to keep that same compass setting and go to B and create another arc such that these arcs intersect. Now, understand that since I am using a string, hopefully these, I don't have a lot of error in here that's encompassing here. So now I've created these two arcs here. I'm going to label each of these arcs. I'm going to label this X. I'm going to label this Y, where those arcs intersect. Now, where those arcs intersect, I'm going to go ahead and create a line between them. And that line is going to be our perpendicular bisector. All right. So it's going to intersect here at M, which is the midpoint. So I've now found the midpoint of AB. I found the perpendicular bisector. Okay. We also want to be able to construct the angle bisector. Okay. So we're given an angle A. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to create my angle here. Here's my angle A. We want to construct AD such that it is the bisector of this angle. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our endpoint on A, and we're going to open our compass in such a way to what we're going to do is we're going to create an arc that intersects our angle. Okay, so I'm going to label this point B and this point C. Because remember, what we're going to do is we're going to label the inside D. Now we're going to put the compass point on C, and draw an arc with the same compass setting. Draw an arc using B. Be sure that the arcs intersect and label the point D. So essentially what we're looking at doing is keeping that, you can keep the exact same setting here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, we're going to create another arc up here and create an arc here to which they intersect. This is going to be D. Now what we're going to do is we're going to connect A to D. Okay. And I don't have quite long enough ruler. I should have grabbed a meter stick or a yard stick. And I'm off. And there's my angle bisector. So what did E.T.'s mom say when he got home? Where on earth have you been? And what happened when the pig pen broke? The pigs had to use a pencil. So that's constructing segment bisectors, angle bisectors, perpendicular bisectors. So that's kind of a brief introduction there to constructs.